Have you ever found yourself staring at the search bar, typing, "What actually is an open relationship?" You are not alone. Millions of people are secretly asking Google the same thing. For generations, we've been sold a single story. One prince, one princess, happily ever after. But look around. Divorce rates are high and people are feeling trapped. Suddenly, this concept of an open relationship is popping up everywhere. Is it the ultimate freedom, or is it a recipe for disaster? Today, we're stripping away the judgment and looking at the psychology and the mechanics of ethical non-monogamy. If you've ever wondered how people manage to love more than one person without destroying their lives, or if you're just curious about how it actually works, stick around. The answer is more complex than you think. Segment 1. What it is and what it isn't. First, let's clear up the biggest misconception. An open relationship is not cheating. Cheating relies on secrecy, lies, and breaking trust. An open relationship relies on the exact opposite, radical honesty and complete consent. It falls under the umbrella of ethical non-monogamy, or ENM. The basic definition? It's a relationship structure where partners agree that they can have romantic or sexual connections with other people. But here's the catch. The primary couple usually prioritizes their bond above all others. Think of it like a house. In a traditional marriage, you lock the door and no one else enters. In an open relationship, the door is open, visitors can come in, but you own the house, and you decide who visits and for how long. Segment 2. How does it work? The rules. So how does it work practically? You can't just say, "We are open," and walk out the door. That is chaos. Successful open relationships run on very strict contracts. Most couples establish what we call boundaries. For example, some have a physical-only rule. They're okay with their partner having sex with others, but falling in love is off-limits. Others have a veto power. This means if I don't like the person you're seeing, I can say stop, and you have to respect that immediately. Then there are logistical rules, like no bringing people to our shared bed, or always use protection, or I don't want to know the details. Without these rules, the open part destroys the relationship part. Segment 3. The psychology and the dark side. Now, let's get real. Why do people do this? Psychologically, it relieves the pressure on one person to be everything. In a traditional setup, your spouse has to be your best friend, your financial partner, your co-parent, and your perfect lover forever. That's a heavy burden. An open relationship acknowledges that one person might not fulfill 100% of your needs for 50 years. But does it work? Here's the hard truth. Open relationships rarely fix a broken marriage. If you're opening up your relationship because you're bored or fighting, you're just adding gasoline to a fire. And then there's the monster in the room, jealousy. People in open relationships aren't immune to jealousy. They just handle it differently. They view jealousy not as a stop sign, but as an alarm system that tells them they're feeling insecure. It requires a level of emotional maturity and communication that, frankly, most people don't have. Conclusion. So is an open relationship right for you? For some, it's the key to a lifelong, exciting partnership. For others, it's a nightmare of insecurity. Whatever your stance, one thing is clear. The definition of relationships is evolving. I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you think humans are naturally monogamous, or are we forcing ourselves into a box that doesn't fit? Let's argue in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into human behavior.